Всем доброго времени суток. Продолжаем прохождение Elex. Так, мы закончили здесь вот у клириков в Хорте. И мы так не побывали в купольном городе, и вот здесь еще не были. Давайте возьмем все-таки вот этого кренделя. Мне прям очень интересно, как он будет. Мне прям интересно, как с ним будет воевать. Лучше он получше или не получше?
Follow me. Yes.
Угу. Так, и погнали сюда.
Such shield technology is wasted in Abessa. All that to hide refugees and rejects. That technology was invented by Albs, and it should have remained with the Albs.
Идем. Нам нужно освободить там этого. Или не освободите. Так. Ага, ну примерно он куда-то туда. Ты же летать-то умеешь, да? Блин, как этот. Ага, есть такое дело. Давай, не разочаровывай меня. Блин. Где твое оружие, блин? Смотри-ка, не что-то попадает. Давай. Все, что ли? Фига он пышет, блин. Ой. Там еще сверху какая-то шняга, блин. Ладно. Сверху-то откуда что появилось там? Да. То, блин, вот он лежит. Странствующий торговец. Все, что ли? Он его убил? Серьезно? Да нафиг это? Да, потрошители для меня еще пока. А пойдем в купольный город, посмотрим, что там у них.
Hey, you've been out in the wilderness, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm looking for a guy, and I wonder if you've seen him. He's called Ray. He's an outlaw with a big mouth on him. Bit of a waster. You haven't met him anywhere out there, have you?
I've met a lot of people.
Yeah? Well, if you do find Ray, can you let me know?
I know where Ray is.
Yeah? Come on, then. Spit it out.
First tell me what the information's worth.
Ah, so you have found him. Well, if you found him, that means I can. So forget it. Deal's off. I'll track him down myself.
So you've got one of these contracts.
You know about them, do you? Well, yes, I've got one. And I'm gonna claim the reward for it.
Give me the contract, or I'll kill you.
Now you want to get killed for that, idiot?
Excellent.
You'll regret that.
Ух ты, а ты зачем его убил-то? Ты серьезно? Ё-моё. Нахрена ты его убил? А мне интересно, а что будет, если я с Рэем сюда приду? Я понял, что этот придурок ничем, короче, не лучше, блин. Видимо, надо качаться. Значит, сейчас с Рэем туда пойдем. Благо, телепорты есть. Угу. Кто такие? Эй, вот кто такие? Стражники. Да, мочат прям. Опа, стражника завалили, да? Опа, нифига, круто. Второй живой? Второй побежал. А вы убили, да, эту хрень? Ладно, пойдет. Ну, пойдем поговорим с этим кренделем. Посмотрим, что он скажет на тебя. Пойдешь биться придется, наверное, нет?
Hey, you've been out in the wilderness, right?
Yes.
Well, I'm looking for a guy, and I wonder if you've seen him. He's called Ray. He's an outlaw with a big mouth on him. Bit of a waster. You haven't met him any...
I've met a lot of people.
Yeah? Well, if you... Well, I guess that's Ray, you old son of a bitch. I was starting to think you weren't still alive.
You know, I am sort of surprised about that myself.
Well, 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 here he is. Large as life and right in front of me. I guess this means we really do have ourselves a problem now, don't we? I still want the shards for the contract, or for Ray's hide. So, are you gonna pay me, or am I gonna have to claim on the contract?
So you've got one of these contracts.
You know about them, do you? Well, yes, I've got one, and I'm gonna claim the reward for it.
Give me the...
Now you won't... You'll regret that.
Блин. Ты помогай, блин, мне. Я за тебя же вообще-то воюю тут, блин. Блин. Молодец. А чё, его только убивать, что ли? По-другому никак. Интересно. Ну тут мне даже выбора не дали, блин. Ну и хрен с ним тогда, блин. Ну, что у нас здесь?
Halt! Not a step further. No one is allowed into the city without an entry permit.
You seem like a reasonable guy. How about we come to some sort of arrangement?
Ты молчал бы, блин, придурок.
Have there been any Alb attacks here recently?
With Zakor on our northern border, there are always Alb troops coming through on their way somewhere, but they don't seem to be attacking us here for the moment.
But have you heard anything about Alexiters traveling through Abessa?
Yeah, I have now that you mention it. Alexiter Calyx was reported to have headed north with a few combat units and a troop of mechs.
Alexiter Calyx. So he's been promoted. Tell me, how long ago did Alexiter Calyx head north?
A few days ago. They must be back at the Ice Palace in Zakor by now. What's with the interest in Alexiters? You go chasing them, you'll just find trouble. And I don't want them tracing that trouble back here.
I'm asking so I can avoid them.
Don't treat me like a rookie. You sound like someone who wants a showdown. So let me give you a warning. That approach is gonna get you and anyone close to you killed.
Where can I get an entry ID?
You can't. We're full. We're short of supplies. So the decision has come down to close the gates. The full allocation of entry IDs has been given out, and we have instructions not to let anyone else in. Those outlaws have us stretched enough as it is. I'm not saying you're working with them, but until law and order is reestablished, we can't risk any more undesirables joining up with them. You'll have to wait till all this is over and done with. Say, there's a bunch of others who can't get in who've taken up residence in some houses near here. Why don't you join up with them?
Вот козел. Короче, мы просто так сюда не попадем, да? А что тут у нас? Тут, я так понимаю, какая-то крепость была раньше, да? Скорее всего, тут можно будет как-то это попасть в город. О, через этот. А, блин, ни хрена, тут еще стоит чувак какой-то. Ну, пойдем с этим поговорим.
Halt! Nobody is allowed into the city without an ID.
What's happening in the city?
Well, the Dome City is a refuge for all. Outlaws, berserker, clerics, anyone who wants to be somewhere other than their homeland. Being away from home, you'd think they'd care less about what faction they were from. But for some reason, some of them have got even more fanatical. That makes keeping order difficult sometimes. The outlaws are the worst. They don't understand rules or sharing, or in some cases, that people have a right to stay alive.
You don't seem to like outlaws.
All people are welcome here. The Dome City is a refuge for all. But that means all, not just outlaws. There's a half-dozen outlaws hanging around outside the city at the old farm now. They just want to get in to cause trouble. I mean, we got everyone settled down and living together, and those outlaws, I just wish they'd disappear.
You want the outlaws in the farm to die?
Whoa, whoa, that's not what I said. I just want them to stop causing trouble for good.
How do I get an ID?
You'll have to go to Gregor at the other gate. He's the only one authorized to issue new IDs. We aren't letting a lot of people in at the moment. We're having... well, talk to Gregor. I'm not sure how much I'm allowed to say.
About the...
You mean the threat on our doorstep? The canker in our midst?
Where are these outlaws?
They've gathered east of here at an old farm, not far from the city walls. You can't miss them.
About the out... If the price is right, I will take care of the outlaws.
Are you sure you can handle this? Well, if you're willing to try, then I would be grateful if they vanish. I will have your reward ready when you come back. Oh, it'll be such a relief to know they're gone. But you need to prove you did it by bringing me their heads.
Фига ты, бля.
You want their heads?
By Kalan, what? No. No. What am I supposed to do with their heads? No. No, I didn't. Just make sure that the outlaws disappear. And don't trade with them, or you can forget your reward. And no heads. Don't bring me any heads.
Щеголы. Ладно. Вот оно, значит, что такое купольный город, блин. А я даже и не знал. Я думал, тут только клирики живут. Ладно, пойдем поболтаем с этими ребятками. Завалить мне их точно не получится. По крайней мере, не сейчас.
Yeah.
I want to get into the city. Can you get me in?
Have you tried to get in yet?
Yes, I went to the gate.
And? You got turned away, right?
I wouldn't be here otherwise.
Okay. I can offer you a way to get into the city, but it's risky because you might not get out again. At least not if they confiscate your ID.
Why won't I be able to get out?
All right. I just hope things don't go the same way they did with Cooper. The clerics have shut the city up tight. They won't let anyone who doesn't have a valid ID through the gate. Not in, not out.
Who is Cooper?
He's an acquaintance of mine. He lost his ID and got stuck in there when they sealed the gates. Anyway, we're off the point. You want in, right? And I can give you a counterfeit ID that will get you in. But, once you're inside there, I need you to go and take an ID card to Cooper. That way he can come back out again. Like I say, I can get you in, but I also need you to help me out. You good with that? Does that sound like a deal?
I've got a message for you from Gustav, the guard on the gate.
What does that tool want? I can't imagine he's opening the gate for us.
He wants all of you to leave. Now.
If he wants that, then he can come and tell us himself. His power ends at the gate to the city. We're going nowhere. You tell him that.
What do I get for running your errand?
There's someone who understands profit. You'd make a good outlaw. If Gustav has decided he wants us dead, then he's too much of a danger. He's not gonna leave us alone until he's dead himself. It seems you can get close to him. So I want you to persuade him to come out here. Say you need help or something. I want to see that asshole's eyes when he dies. Bring him here, and you can have the shards he promised you, plus a sweetener on top from me for your help. How's that for profit?
Any ideas for how to get Gustav to come here?
Play to his ego. Say you need his help. He won't come and fight us on his own. But if he thinks you're fighting as allies, maybe that will get him to come with you.
Блин. Дилемма. Дилемма. Блин. А если я сейчас к кому-нибудь присоединюсь, я смогу задание выполнять дальше? Мне вот это интересно. Если я сейчас примкну к изгоям, к примеру. Что, блин, убивать того чувака? Да, договорились. Он первый захотел вашей смерти.
It might even give us a way in if he's not on the gate anymore. Maybe, maybe not. But it'll be one less cleric. Either way, bring Gustav to us and we'll take care of him. He's the main thing we need to deal with.
Okay, I'll do it.
We're doing great.
He fought hard.
He was a brave man when I knew him. We still haven't found all the copies of the contract. Yeah, let's hope we find the rest before someone tries to collect on it.
What about your old boss, Jackson? Do you have an idea where he is?
Jackson's still doing what he's always done, leading a group of reavers. But he's gone sour. I mean really bad. The guys he's running with now take anything from anyone. They murder. That's not how we used to be. Come on, we should find him before he finds me.
Where is he?
They're wanted men, so his gang is always on the move. Last I heard, he was hiding in eastern Nebesser, near the dam.
If Jackson's on the run, do we need to worry about him?
He's still got a copy of the contract for the hit. We need to take that out of circulation.
Is that...
I don't know. You tell me.
Да.
Hello, stranger. I have the best goods.
Then show...
Only the...
Что есть у тебя? Железный молот. Ну. Ты, по-моему, у тебя что-то уже покупал, да? Похоже на то. А, так это у тебя этого стражника убили там. Да лага.
Halt. Not known as a loud.
Ты замучил, блин. Так, давайте-ка поспим, блин. Может, дождь закончится. Ни хрена не закончился, да? Ладно, давай будем пробовать.
Halt! Nobody...
About the...
You mean the threat on our doorstep?
There are too many outlaws at the farm. I need your help.
Very well. But I'll only pay half. I'm risking my life and my job coming to help you. Okay? Just wait a moment. I have to find a replacement at the gate. Can't go unguarded after all. I'll be right back. Yes. Let's go and take care of these outlaws.
А может, изгоев завалить? О, вопрос, блин. Хотя не. Блин, даже не знаю, если честно. Все зависит от того, за кого я буду воевать. Если с изгоями буду, тогда, конечно, валить этого. Если, блин, за клириков, тогда другого, блин.
You'll regret that.
Yeah, that's a doing all right.
Я, короче, всех сейчас завалю, да? Убил всех. Убил всех вообще просто. Да, чё мелочиться. И тех, и других. Ай, блин. Не, ну это неправильно, конечно, да. Конечно же, это неправильно. Что же делать-то? Меня хоть пустят теперь-то хоть. Ой.
The outlaws who were trying to get into the city are dead.
Well, that's good news for someone. You know, one of them had requested an entry ID for the city, so the timing's worked out well for you. Maybe you'd want to take his entry ID. That would get you in. What's a curse for one person is a blessing for another, eh? So here, take the ID. Oh, and there are some rules I need to tell you before you enter. First, stay away from the generators. Nobody but the technicians is allowed access to them. That sort of security is why we need to keep an eye on IDs. So if you meet someone who's in the city illegally, report them to us immediately. And Eric will take care of them. We can only keep peace in the city if we all work together. We keep the city secure. That's what was laid down by the Great Council of Magaland. And the Great Council gave the clerics the responsibility for guaranteeing the city's independence. That means everyone is welcome here until they cause trouble. So keep the peace while you're in there. Our suggesters are busy enough without you adding to their workload. And that's it. You may pass.
Понятно. Подпускают, да? Блин, ну что же делать там? Кого оставить живых, а кого нет? Мне надо решить, за кого я буду играть. Черт побери. За кого же я буду играть? Ну, за этих я не хочу. Вот либо изгоя, либо клирики. Блин, клирики, конечно, хорошо, но... Ну, изгои мне вообще что-то не нравится, если честно. Ну, в принципе, в общем-то, вообще не нравится. Так же, как и берсерки, блин. Но этот дурацкий фанатизм тоже бы нахер не нужен был бы. В общем, выберем сторону все-таки, наверное, клириков.
Halt!
Тогда
About the
слушай, а тогда, может, мы вдвоем их уделаем? Как ты думаешь? А? Рэй, ты сможешь? Вряд ли, блин. Но пробовать надо. Короче, в город не попадешь, пока не выберешь, за кого ты будешь воевать. Ну. Я так понимаю.
Yeah,
You
that's
think you know what's going on?
right.
No one knows what's going on.
There are reasons for us to come together.
Don't mess me around. I'll mess with
I heard he was robbed.
Блин, их целых 5 человек, охренеть.
No, right?
I am going, all right?
Или вот так пройти. Ну давай.
Good. Right. That's the plan. You see, Wick has all the blank IDs. So before I can get you an ID, I need you to get me Wick.
Where is Wick?
Well, that there is a good question. You see, he's been gone for a while. He'd gone over to the ruins to see if there was anything worth scavenging there, and hasn't come back. You should look for him over to the northwest if you're in a hurry to get into the city. Just look through all the houses. He should still be there, scavenging.
А, блин, я что-то это
I know who you're talking about.
пропустил эту штуку. А ну-ка.
I can't say that any more clearly.
Не, где задание это? А вот новый пропуск. Ага, где-то прям туда, да? Да блин,
heard a
я
lot about that.
хрен у
I'm not
меня
sure I believe
получится. Там стопудово опять какая-нибудь куча всякой нечисти будет. Да иди ты. Что это за плод? Так. А здесь что наверху? Тут у нас Elex валяется, блин. Тут разорвало, блин. Да ты запарил. Да куда ты бежишь, блин? Интересно. Когда идешь, снег не слышится. О, снег скрипит. Ну что ж, пойдем сюда. Какой тут туман. Туманище. Какие-то крысы. Ты же, блин. Нифига ты, блин. Ты бей кого-нибудь хоть, блин, ты задолбал. Блин. Я еле их пробиваюсь. Блин. Да, блин, спину кусает, сволочь. Да сколько их тут, блин. Тихо, тихо. А. Да блин. Да куда? Да ты что, застрял, что ли? Ну ты реально застрял? Смотри. Ё-моё, бля. Ну, пошел ты нахер. Где это, сволочь? Это какой-то беспредел, ребята. Ну, серьезно. Да отойди ты нахер. Ну ладно. Черт с ним, пойдет. Ну я, конечно, лошара, блин. Полнейший. Опа, блин. Добил. Блин, такое ощущение, что тут кто-то выбрался из могилы, что ли, блин, или как, я не пойму. Ну, давай смотреть. Мародер. Ай, блин. Не угадал я.
No.
Да ты чё творишь-то? Ну, блин. Идиот.
Too easy.
Самоцветы и всякая фигня. Не пищать мне тут. Отшельник какой-то. Вик. Еще отшельник. У вас что-то тут было-то интересно, я не пойму. Набор пропусков получен. Отлично. Отлично. А я уж думал, кого убивать, а кого миловать. Кружки. Кружки я люблю. Светильнички, кружки. Все это продаст. Так, ну все. Нахрена тут это хрена? Так, ничего тут больше нет. Ой, не сюда. Дождь хоть закончился, надо же. Так, эти кувшинки все можно собрать, да? Фига. Они же для чего-то нужны, да?
Someone's gotta sort this shit out before we drown
I
in
know
it.
who you're talking
Common
about.
hardly left in
No,
good stead.
right?
Wick is dead. but I found the ID cards on his body.
Dead? Shit. I told him whatever was there wasn't worth the risk. But Wick would do anything if it would mean him getting 2 shards he could tap together. Ah, well, give me the blank ID card. I'll work it up for you now. So, done. 1 fake ID ready to go.
Give me the counterfeit ID.
Okay, wait a second. Your image has to be added there first. So, done. Here's your ID. And this is the ID for Cooper. Take it to him. But make sure the clerics don't see it, see him, or see you handing this over. And do it as soon as you get in there. He's been at risk too long as it is. We don't need him being held, or worse, turned into a vegetable by the suggesters.
No, right?
Так, я так понимаю, этому у парадного входа не стоит его давать, этот пропуск. А вон тому дурачку, наверное, можно. Разве нет? Да? Ну, давай пробовать. А вдруг можно здесь пройти?
Halt. No.
Ага.
I heard you hold people prisoner if they can't prove their identities.
Of course. Need a valid ID to enter or to leave. It's important we keep the right balance here, and that we can hold people accountable. We've worked hard to keep things running here. We can't start letting people flood in, or the troublemakers will take over. Anyone who tries to get around with ID is given straight to the suggesters to be taken care of.
What's a suggester?
Our suggesters are the reason things remain peaceful in the city. If someone causes trouble, then they're either thrown out, see a suggester for reorientation, or both. But don't worry, it's a positive experience that will leave you happy about life. Even so, I recommend avoiding it.
I have an entry ID. Let me through.
Really? I thought I knew all the ones that had been issued. And you were here asking about getting ID before. So tell me where you got this one.
Mm-hmm. Ну, глупо, конечно. Это же комменты моего брата.
It's mine. I was issued one after all. Must have misplaced it.
All right. I'll believe you this once. I've got to be wary. That desert gang of outlaws is always trying to find ways to get by me. Oh, and there are some rules. First...
Так, я понимаю, но... 500. Так, да ё-моё. Вот здесь я сохранялся. Идем как к тому сходим. Я понимаю, что я прошел. Но он мне перестал доверять. Мало ли повлияет на что-нибудь. А ты вообще не хочешь, да? Вот ты козел, блин. Ну ладно, короче, тогда скажу, что...
I heard... It's...
That means...
Ладно, пойдет.
What's happening?
Nothing right now, but it's simmering. You can feel it. There was something building even before we let those Alp separatists in here. They just lit the touch paper. But hey, we're supposed to be a sanctuary, so Someone decided to open the gates and let the Separatists in.
How many separatists are there in the city?
Too many. Once an alb, always an alb. They still hit Elex. It's just a matter of time before they turn back. I don't know what they want in the city. I'd heard a bunch of them had set up a base in the west of Abessa, so they could have gone there. If we weren't so busy here, we'd have tracked them down and cleared them out of Abessa. Last thing we need is Zakor thinking we're harboring rebels.
You mentioned the Council of Magellan.
The Great Council, yes. You'll have to speak to Judicator Alois if you want to know more about that. I'm not that well informed on my history.
Who's Alois?
Alois is the Judicator in charge of the city. You'll find him in the castle. He likes to stay close to the generators.
Where can I find Eric?
Just go straight down the path into the inner city. You should find him there.
Ну понятно. Ладно. В принципе, никого не убивая, прошли. Чего у меня там с опытом-то, блин? Ни хера не хочет опыт качаться. Какой-то флайер, блин. Опять же, нахер писанина, как всегда. Что так темно так? Да, это какой-то средневековый замок был изначально, видимо, да? Ну чё вы тут на тыкве двигаетесь, да? Тёлочка. Отступница.
Yeah? Not now.
Смотри, ты еще и с оружием ходит, отступница. Изгои землю пашут с отступником.
Another time, yeah?
Ты смотри, что творится. Действительно добром не кончится такая фигня. О, а вот и Купер.
What do you want? Do you back the clerics here, or do you want them gone?
You get right to the point, don't you?
And are you gonna give me an answer?
Ну нет, наверное.
I'm for the clerics.
You think they bring security? That they protect us? They say they're here to keep things safe, to keep order. But it's obvious they want to drop their neutrality and extend Ignadon's control into Abessa. Not allowing anyone in or out of the city. That's just the start of it. You think that's because the Alps are getting closer? Or that those followers of Kalan really want a backdoor for invasion?
The Albs are more...
Executions, converters, torture. Believe me, I know all about that shit. But those guys are only interested in Elex, and as far as I know, there isn't any more here in the city than there is elsewhere. So why should they show any interest in attacking a fortified position to get it, instead of sweeping up all there is out there?
The Albs want all the Elex. All of it. No matter where it is.
We won't get in their way. We don't want Elex. They have to see that. They'd be attacking us for nothing. No, it's the clerics.
Да, вы идиоты, ребята.
What do you want?
You... I'm again.
Right, good. I can see you talk sense. They say they're here to keep things safe, to keep order. But it's obvious they want to drop their neutrality and extend Ignadon's control into Abessa. Not allowing anyone in or out of the city. That's just the start of it. You think that's because the Alps are getting closer? Or that those followers of Kalan really want to...
Блин, выживание нужно. Целых 5 аж. Офигеть. У меня сколько? 2. Ну и 2 могу, да, сделать себе так амулетом. И все, да? То бишь 4. Ладно, пока тогда Не буду с тобой базарить. Кстати, выживание мне надо прокачивать, да? Выживание... Вот трофеи. Надо мне этого найти. Учителя.
It isn't worth thinking about.
I'm staying out of it.
Очень странное зрелище, блин. Очень странное зрелище. Пейдж. Кто такая Пейдж?
Huh. What do we have here? Fresh meat?
Paige? It is Paige, right? I haven't seen you in a long while.
That's because I get out of the way every time I see you coming, Ray. How did you get the guard to let you into the dome? I'd watch out. They're probably trying to recruit you. You wouldn't be the first to come here looking for shelter only to end up bowing down to Kalan. However you got in, you're going to find it even harder to get out. The clerics are a little jumpy at the moment. You might say paranoid. So, when they do let someone in, it does make me wonder who they are and why the clerics thought letting them in was a good idea.
If it's so hard to get in, what are you doing here?
I got in before things got so paranoid. And I came here for profit, of course. Lots of nervous people close to the Alps tend to be willing to invest shards in their safety, you see. And getting hold of supplies is hard out here. So, if you can get them, you can sell them for a high price. Well, that was the plan. Now, the clerics have stopped me trading and cut off all the supplies.
Where do you get your goods from?
Mostly directly from Tavar. And that's the main problem. Seeing as the clerics have got picky about who comes in and goes out of here. It's impossible to get by the guards without an ID card. And they took mine from me as part of their crackdown. Now they say I'm causing trouble. But what else is a businesswoman supposed to do when she has her business taken from her?
About your...
Yeah, don't tell me. Trading weapons can pose a danger to the community. But this is about self-defense. The only person who can stop a person with a gun is a person with an even bigger gun. Am I right? I mean, what? Are we supposed to throw rocks at the Albs when they attack? But the clerics want to keep all the guns for themselves and screw the rest of us. They call it neutrality, but I say it's oppression.
Да тут все с оружием ходят. Чё ты мне тут трындишь, дура?
Sounds like you could use some help.
Yes, I could. Still, let's say he's right. And that I could get a hold of supplies. Not from Tavar, obviously. They've blocked that route. Let's say I could get some weapons from these separatists, for example. Let's say they have weapons and need shards. And that they also have the business acumen of a stunned troll, so they need a salesperson. Me, for example. What if I was to say that? And what if I was to say that I have to find someone who could enter and leave the city freely? If I was to say that, then what would you say?
Do you really think you can trust the Separatists?
I can't leave without profit. Hell, right now I can't eat without profit. So I need this deal. So if you blab, what have I lost? Nothing. And without any guns to show, it's just your word against mine. And even Alois isn't going to see that as justice.
I could help you get your weapons.
Good. Right. So, this is what you need to do. Leave the city and find a separatist called Radok. I think he's a separatist. But whatever he is, he's a mad fucker. I can't make sense of most of what he says. But he has the weapons, and he likes trade. I think he likes trade. It's hard to tell. He wants to sell the weapons, but you'll have to work on him, okay? He won't just hand them over.
Where can I find Radok?
Up in the Highlands. When we last spoke, he told me he was going to head over to the northeast. He mentioned an abandoned wind turbine. With luck, he'll still be out there.
Ладно. Говорила. Элекс под подушкой нычет. Так, понятно. Тут понятно, там понятно. Значит, давай сначала по маленьким домикам пробежимся. Изгои и отступники, блин. Я что-то вообще не понимаю, что тут происходит, если честно. О, нет, даже эти есть, по-моему, да?
So, you come here from Goliath?
Берсерки
No.
даже есть.
I was exiled to the valley before I came here, but I hid myself in a crate and got brought up in the lift.
You escaped in a crate?
Yeah, those idiots had no idea I was in there. I waited till they were busy with the next one, slipped out, and I was gone.
You got lucky.
That wasn't luck, that was pure skill.
You were lucky.
Yeah, well, maybe I got luck and skill, but what I haven't got is beer. Feel like one?
Yeah, sure.
Well then, follow me.
Да, оказывается, тут все есть, получается, да? И изгои, и все остальные, да? Тут контейнер скрывает.
Ah, the gift and treasures of travel, for it brings new encounters. So what are you? Merchant? Bounty hunter? Or a nobody, like most people out there?
I'm not in a faction.
Well, guess you're one lonely son of a bitch then, aren't you? Here, before you start begging for help, consider it a gift from the Duke. You gave me enough that I can share.
Keep your charity.
It isn't smart to refuse a gift from the boss. You should learn to appreciate his generosity.
Блин, не понравилось ему. Ну да, я что-то ступил, конечно.
Ah, the...
Thanks.
Don't thank me. Thank the Duke. If you end up in the desert in Tavar, you can thank him in person by joining the outlaws.
How do people live here?
Here, smoke one with me, before you start bombarding me with questions, yeah? I have the best stuff here.
What do you have to offer?
Troll dung, rat scab, it's all first-class stuff. Snort it, smoke it, either way, you'll never forget the experience.
Forget it.
Well, that's your choice. From time to time, you need to open a door in your head and look inside, right? But if you won't, then all the more for me. That done, let's get into the real business.
Business? With me?
You see someone else here? Real business. A proper opportunity. You see, the clerics have had this city under their control for years. And the Duke thinks they're planning to take control everywhere, sooner or later. And he thinks the Dome City could be the starting point for their military campaign. So, my job is to find out if he's right. If there is something brewing that could be dangerous for us in Tavar.
What information have you gathered about the clerics?
Pretty much nothing so far. They've not been very loose-lipped around me. I must sorta stand out.
So, you want me to be your spy?
I want you to find out information. Now, I can see in your eyes that you haven't fallen for the cleric's tricks. You aren't simple enough to believe every piece of troll shit you're fed.
What do you expect from me?
All that you have to do is get some answers out of somebody, and I've even got the guy lined up ready for you. His name is Lutz. He's one of Alois's technicians. As far as I know, he's trying to re-establish communications with the other clerics in Ignadon. While Alois will tell you the clerics here are neutral, separate from the ones in the Horde. Go and grill Lutz. Find out if there'll be an offensive soon. Do that, then come back to me as soon as you have any useful information.
You know, helping the Duke out is probably a good idea. He gets kind of pissed when he finds out you didn't.
How many shards are you talking about?
Enough. The Duke is generous. I pay. That much you can be sure of.
Why do you think that these technicians will know about the cleric's plans?
Because he's the guy that maintains all the communications equipment. He must have heard something from the comms. And he's more likely to talk than anyone further up the chain. I want to know what he's heard. I need to know what he knows.
Where can I find Lutz?
If he's not on a call, then he's usually working maintenance on one of the generators. Just walk along the battlement path up at the top. It can't be far.
Yeah, I'll talk to you later. If we all did our duty, then duty would be done.
Talk, that's all he is.
You can get out. Did you get lost?
Чё надо? Иди отсюда. Тут ничего нету.
Another time, yeah?
Смотри, сколько их тут. Реально отступников херова туча.
Why
Are you here to seek shelter or to cause problems? This area is a sanctuary for refugees. There's nothing here for reavers, recruiters, or troublemakers.
What's wrong with you? Have I done something to piss you off?
Call it experience, but those in need and those willing to help don't normally question my motives.
Блин, опять я что-то ляпнул, не подумал. Опять я ляпнул, не подумав. Ну откуда я ж я знал, что, блин, она такая дура. И всякую фигню собирает.
Are you here to... There's...
I'm not a Reaver.
Then I hope that means you're here to help.
What brought you out here?
This is a place away from the war. A place people can make up their minds without being pressured to join one of the factions. If the people here wanted to join a faction, they would have. But some people aren't ready for that. Or they've been cast out. They have to go somewhere.
So there's no faction in charge here?
Well, the clerics keep order, but it's not like the Horde where entry means you have to join them. Here you can forget about factions.
Я так не думаю.
Are you always so edgy?
You know you wouldn't need to diffuse things if you didn't get people wound up in the first place. Damn, this is like being back in Goliath all over again.
You're a berserker. Is Adan trying to conquer Abessa?
I don't answer to Adan. And these people belong to no faction. They belong only to themselves. I stand as their protector against anyone who would force them to do otherwise. My only connection to Adan is my magic. I wish it was more, but wishes don't make things so.
Have you been exiled from Goliad?
Exiled? No. There are those in Adan who want to use my magic for their own purposes. Ever since my power started to grow, they changed me. Their mana changed me, and that change just won't stop. I'm becoming stronger and stronger. It is terrifying.
If that's true, why don't you use your power?
I do, I have. But sometimes it overwhelms me. That's why I fight alone. If I lose control of a spell, there's a chance I could kill anyone and everyone around me. The warlords wanted to test me. Try my powers, to harness them. Now I need to find a solution myself. But to do that, I need to study the properties of Elex, to learn more about it.
I could use someone like you.
Use? There's a word I've heard too much. Well, count me out. I'm not interested in being used.
I could help you.
What do you know of what I need? What do you know of how to help me? Elex marks people. Mana, chems, exposure from food tainted by it. It stays with people. You have its mark on you. You're different somehow. What is it about you?
I took Elex in the past. Is that what you're seeing? Or is there something else?
Took it? You were fed it. You were an Alb soldier. Well, it seems we have something in common. We've both been fed Elex in one form or another. It's changed us. And neither of us know what that means we are now.
What do you think? My offer still stands.
And what exactly is it that you're planning?
I am going to end this war by taking the fight to the Elexitors. And I'm trying to put together a group skilled enough to win that fight.
And you think I'll take part in this?
In return, I will help your quest to find the Elex you're searching for. Then you can improve your magical abilities. You said yourself, the longer you are here, the more you fear your powers will overwhelm you. The longer you stay here, the more danger you put these people in. If you really want to protect them, you need to leave.
Even if that's true, why should I leave with you?
I was an Alb. I know Elex and I know magic. I know the impulses that follow you even during sleep. I know the nightmares and the problems of trying to control power that really wants to control you. And I know what it's like when all that is taken from you. We can help each other.
And it's not like I have other options. Not in the long term. You're right. I'm hiding from it here. I need to get out there and find a real solution. I'll wait by the main gate, and we'll see if your actions can match your words. You should stock up here before we go.
I will meet you by the gate.
Just don't keep me waiting, or you might find I changed my mind.
Yeah, good job.
Well, well.
Круто. Я, короче, магичку себе захомутал.
I've heard a lot about that. I'm not sure I believe it.
Захомутал себе магичку.
Well, that was a serious waste of time, wasn't it?
Fucking
Какой-то
elves.
Фэнк.
It'll cost all of us.
Чё за Фэнк?
You. Hey. It's you.
Yes, Frank. It's me, Jax.
I heard they'd shot you down. That you were dead. Apparently that was wrong. But if you're here, does that mean you're a separatist now? Will you stay here and support our cause? I'm sure you would be very welcome.
What cause?
We've broken free from Zakor, from being slaves to Elex. And we've worked, persuaded people to allow us into the city. And now we're here, we are working to be allowed to stay. Would you be willing to help us?
I will give you my support.
Good. We have to stick together. People blame us for this war, even though we left Zakor to escape it. They will doubt us until the day peace begins. I mean, they don't even trust each other. Among all these warring people, all these different agendas, we, you and I, share a similar destiny. It's the only way anyone will survive.
It seems like you're tolerated here in the city.
That is exactly what we are. Tolerated. We are still a long way from being accepted.
Well, I, for one, don't trust you as far as I can throw you.
You aren't alone in that view. This city is a place of freedom, but all the old suspicions remain. The outlaws claim they are being oppressed. The clerics say they are neutral, but they aren't. The berserkers, they don't seem to know what they're doing, apart from avoiding their laws. We are trying to discover who we are. I think people see that we are all here for a new start.
What goods have you got?
Чего у тебя есть интересного? А, ни хрена, да?
Do you need help?
It is good that you offer to help us. The berserkers are already trying to get us thrown out of the city. We need the protection offered by this place. We won't survive without it. We've persuaded people here that we are worth a chance. But there will always be those who won't see it that way. And the Albs and Zakor want us dead. If we're to stay, we need someone to get to Caleb and York. They are key to our future.
About the threat of... What is the problem with Caleb and York?
Jorg is a berserker. He's accused us of spying for the Albs and Zakor. He claims he saw us handing over information about the shield generators. It's completely illogical. We are the ones with the most to lose if Zakor captures this city. But the free people are prisoners to emotion. It makes them doubt logic. They have already thrown one of our group out of the city. Now they are threatening the rest of us with the same fate. We are no friends of the Albs and Zakor. They would see us dead. We want this to be our home now. We need the free people to understand this.
I will help you.
Good. That is the response I wanted. It is best if you go straight to York. Caleb is already attempting further arguments to ensure our expulsion. But it is Jorg's statement that has put us in danger. That lie underpins Caleb's argument against us. If people believe we are working with the enemy, we will be exiled from the city and left to die. But if Jorg confesses his lie, then Caleb would no longer have the proof he claims.
they would have no reason to expel us.
Yes, you can say that.
Найра. Ты что там собираешь, блин? Какого-то чудо-пса, блин.
What do you want from me? To drive me off? Or maybe even have me killed? You don't scare me. Your people are a plague upon this land. Although, there is something different about you. Do you usually spend time with people like us?
I was an alb myself once.
Yes. You stopped taking Elex. That is rare, which makes me question how you did it. May logic guide you.
Чё? Не понял.
What do you want from... You don't... Well, do you...
I know a lot of albs.
You do? There are few non-albs who can say that. We could use more people who speak for us. Their free people fear us. That is an obstacle to our survival. May logic...
Какая-то фигня. Ну, реально какая-то фигня, слушай. А чё ты? Сказать, что терпеть ненавижу тебя? Ты тебе сказать?
Then go. I don't have anything to say to your kind. I don't...
Очень интересно. Найра. Ну, может, по какому-нибудь заданию получится потом с ним поговорить нормально.
Stop being an asshole.
I've never trusted her.
А ну-ка. Записи. Живя среди свободных людей купольного города, я начала ненавидеть их всей душой. Они требуют плату за каждую мелочь. Мне пришлось приложить заметные усилия, чтобы раздобыть несколько примитивных инструментов. Все было бы гораздо проще, если бы мне удалось избавиться от эмоций. Гнев и раздражение не идут на пользу. Этот город также прогнил, как и весь остальной мир. Чтобы выжить здесь, понадобится вся моя сила. Ну, в общих чертах понятно. Что скажешь еще, что интересно?
Do you usually spend time with people? Yes. You stopped taking... Which makes me question how you did it. May lot...
Как тебе это удалось? Да, блин, понятно. Нифига тут нету. Это интересная штука. Она, наверное, открывается. Заколоченный, говорил, вход.
I saw you.
You saw me what?
I saw how you came through into the dome. Who are you? Why were you allowed in?
Я тебя не вижу, кто ты сам такой, ё.
That's none of your business.
Then it sounds like you got in here illegally. As much as the clerics claim they control the gates, they really don't seem to be able to stop people getting in. And by that, I don't just mean you. Can you believe it? There are fucking albs in the city.
Кто ты такой, блин? Ну-ка. Опять какие-то эти, блин. Тут берсерки вообще что-то терпеть ненавижу. Это идиоты полнейшие какие-то. Ну что ему сказать?
You saw me.
I saw how you... Fuck. What is this, an invasion? Can't you all just go back to Zakor? What do you have to keep coming here for? Well, you'll find more of your kind back there in the city. You can go and do whatever it is you Alps do together. But don't get used to it. None of you will be staying long. But before you go, you better tell me what you want here, Alp.
Who are you?
Caleb. I lead the Berserkers who've chosen to settle here in Abessa.
Does that mean you're exiles?
Well, none of us are allowed to return to Edan now. Or we just end up being sent to the valley. As to why they came here, well, the first settlers were sent to Abessa to plant a world heart to expand the forest of Edan out here. But they were cut off from Edan by the Alps, left on their own to survive. And after a while, they decided to keep it that way. The warlords in Goliath weren't happy. But they're stretched too thin for another conflict, so here we are. And since they settled here, others have joined us. Some are escaped exiles, others just chose to leave Edan.
What do you have against the Separatists?
We came here for peace, to escape the war. How long will that last if more Alps keep coming here? Zakor has left us alone recently. You think they will if they know all their escapees are coming here? Edan? Ignadon? Fuck it, even Tavar. At some point, if they learn that Alps are sheltering here, then they might attack us even if Zakor doesn't. And you can tell me whatever you want about us having the same goals, or the same enemy. But you really expect me to believe you Alps are going to choose us over other Alps? I don't care that people vote to let you in. If it was up to me, we would be better off if you lot were thrown out of the city.
Ты идиот, блин.
You want to have all the Separatists thrown out of the city?
Yeah. And you know what? I have already started to make it happen. It's easy to find ways to show you people have broken the rules of our agreement. But hey, I have a way you can avoid the same fate. You could do as a service here. You could prove your humanity. Are you prepared to do that? Do you think you're even able?
Ага. Ну и что ты от меня хочешь?
What do you want from me?
I need help with the Alps. We have an eyewitness who claims to have seen the Separatists exchanging information with the Alps. Traitorous bastards.
Who is this eyewitness?
The Berserker Jorg saw Fenk meet with an Alb in front of the city. Why would they meet if it wasn't to exchange information about the dome? Sadly, Jorg is the only one who's seen Fenk. And now he started saying he isn't sure he really saw Fenk meet an Alb from Zakor. So I have to jog Jorg's memory, or make sure he stops denying what he said. There has to be a way to do that.
You don't think that Jorg could have been wrong in the first place?
No, never. You can't trust these Separatists. They'll betray us sooner or later for sure. I'm telling you, this is just the beginning.
I can make sure Jorg stops denying his story.
You can? Do you think you can make Jorg stick to his original story? It's for the good of the city. So how about you go to Jorg and present yourself as an Alb? Encourage him to believe that he saw what he saw. It can never be said again that the Alps might be innocent.
Понятно.
I'm gonna keep quiet about that no matter what they say.
He's been chewing on that thing for days.
You aren't the first to tell me that.
какой-то Рорик.
You're not very good at sneaking.
Внимание, воры. Ну-ка, ну-ка. Жители купольного города. Недавняя серия краж представляет угрозу для всех нас. Будьте бдительны и сообщайте о любом подозрительном поведении представителям власти. Держите ценные вещи под замком. Не трогайте незнакомых, сообщайте о всех происшествиях, сообщайте его. Сообщники вора понесут суровое наказание. Но я все равно рискну, ребят, чего.
You need a break every once in a while if you're going to stay sane. But do you get one?
No.
Да ну нафиг. Это чё?
No.
Да, блин. У меня так этих отмычек не хватит, блин, на все. Тем более, чё тут фигня какая-то вообще. А ну-ка.
There have been so many patrols that got themselves in trouble recently. It's a wonder any of them are still standing.
Верстачок.
Stop this thief!
Твою мать.
Too easy.
Так, нельзя через прилавок, блин. Пойдет. Пойдет.
Better leave everything where it is.
Здорово. Блин. Ну что ты там, сыкло?
Hey, you're new here in the city, right?
Yes, I've just arrived.
I thought so. I saw you come through the gate, you see? Anyway, I want to ask you something, if that's alright. Have you been to Edan recently? To the Berserker's city of Goliath, to be exact. A good friend of mine is still there.
Who's your friend?
His name is Kral. He's a guard at the Mana Shrine. At least, he was when I left. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother, Grimar, from the Alb Converter. Do you know what happened to him?
Kral is dead.
No. Shit. Maybe if I'd stayed... You know, I was even planning how I could get to Goliath to see if I could get him out of there. I had this feeling something bad would happen to him. First his brother and then him. A curse on all of Edan. And thanks anyways.
Tell me about your life in Edan.
Me? I was a worker at the pit. You know, I extracted Elex from old machines so it could be transmuted into mana. I always wanted to join the Hooded Crows and learn the art of magic, but it wasn't to be. My parents forbade me from trying. My clan told me to stop trying. Not that any of that stopped me. And that's what got me banished. I stole mana from the shrine to try and learn magic myself. And I got myself caught. They sentenced me to exile in the Valley of the Damned, but I escaped. I'd seen the Domed City when I was sent on patrol, so when I left Edan, this was the place I thought of. And here I am.
I would like to learn Berserker magic.
Well, it's pointless asking me. I didn't manage to learn anything useful before I was exiled. You would have to join the Berserkers. They won't teach their magic to outsiders. But I don't know if I can recommend that in all good conscience. I left, after all. You will have to decide who you want to join.
Так, подожди, а что если сказать ему, что братан его жив? Ну или вообще не сказать?
Hey!
Yes. you're that interested, then...
I can't. Not overtly, anyway. I broke the law, you see. But I miss my good friend Kral. I'd hoped he'd come and join me here, but he won't leave Goliath. He thought he still had a chance to save his brother. Do you know what happened?
I haven't been to Goliath.
Oh, okay. Well, could you look out for him if you go, okay? And thanks anyways. I'd see...
Понятно. Но лучше не говорить ему ничего. Блин, хотя...
I stopped listening when
Хер с ним. Ведь что будет. Так, осталось, в общем-то, тут немного. Всего, да? Это граната. Отступница. Да вы задолбали уже, сыкуны, блин. Все уже пообоссали. Пойдет. Да ну нафиг.
Too easy.
Так, ну ладно, это тут какая-то это. Понятно, маневры. Кафешка какая-то, видимо, да?
Nobody listens to me.
Not again.
I call that dangerous half knowledge.
I'm staying out of it.
You can forget it, Brabak.
If we all did our duty, then duty would be done.
Save yourself.
There's nowhere near enough Felix out there for that.
By doing what I say. Let those assholes drink.
I don't
piss
want
from the
anything to do
gutters,
with it.
And you keep your supplies for the real people.
Not
What do
again.
you care who I serve? I still serve you, even though the other people
Frankly,
complain
they should be
about it.
showing more respect.
So you are taking their side, are you?
I'm on
They say that the
nobody's
Pilgrim
side.
Thorold has answers, but
Just
who
getting
knows?
on with my job.
You had better reconsider this.
Nobody listens to me.
Consider what? One
There's
wrong
nowhere near
word
enough
and the
Felix out
barracks
there for
will throw you
that.
out of the city. So do us both a
Frankly,
favor.
they should be
Calm the
showing
hell
more
down.
respect.
This isn't over.
Not
I will
again.
come back.
When you do,
I don't
make
want
sure
anything
you
to
bring
do
some
with it.
shards. I'm sick of giving credit, and I need the change, all right?
You don't know that either, whatever you say.
Hey, come over here. Let's get a drink together.
What are we celebrating?
Victory over the Alps. Or do you have another reason to celebrate? Because any reason works for me.
Victory over the Alps?
Well, imminent victory. Got to be, hasn't it? Or don't you have any confidence in us?
Don't say the wrong thing now. You got to believe if you want to succeed.
Алкоголик.
If you keep drinking, you're not going to beat anyone.
What the? I was being hospitable there. Now you're opening your mouth and inviting someone to shut it. And I am so close to plugging it for you. But because you're new, I'll give you a chance. One final chance. If you get the next round, we'll stay good friends. So, what'll it be? Are you gonna take it in the teeth or feed it to the liver?
Show me what you've got.
A fighter. Let's have you then, fighter.
You gotta think before you go out and do that.
As he wishes. You should do it.
That sounds like trouble. Sure you can trust him?
Do you believe that? Really believe it?
You ever think about what might have been before the comment?
I don't want anything to do with it.
Everyone seems to have an answer to this.
They say that the pilgrim Thorold has answers.
Well,
but
if you're
who
sure
knows?
about that, then okay.
If we all did our duty, then duty would be done.
Yeah, that's how it is.
That is a shame.
Смотри-ка, он щит мой не пробивает, оказывается. А если я полетаю? Да чтоб тебе. А, ну пока у меня это. Все понял, блин. Он меня прям убил, что ли? Нет. Ой, да ну вас всех нахер, блин, короче. Алкашей.
Not again.
И всех остальных.
Really? Now?
Hey, traveler. Is your throat dry? Are your feet aching? Whatever your problem, I have what you need. One good swig will cure all worries, and that's guaranteed.
How is business?
Now that everyone is paying credit? Roaring. Not many people aren't happy to pay on credit. It's me that's holding the bill and hoping to get paid before I run out of supplies. Speaking of which, do you know where I can get any food supplies? I'll pay real shards to get more food supplies in.
Most people try to earn a profit in your situation, huh?
Try, yeah. Achieving is something different. I'd rather you get the supplies honestly, but if you take them from people who have too much, who am I to question it? But if you steal from those with nothing, then I don't want anything from you. I like to keep things honest.
Честный парень.
Do you want to trade? Do you have any news to go with that drink?
News? Now, I presume you're talking about news from in here. I don't hear anything much from the outside now the city gates are sealed. Now, the future of the domed city is the only topic people are concerned about right now. That's pretty much all of the conversation. There's been peace in here for years, but right now, well, we're all set for things to boil over. And I don't want to say it's the cleric's fault. It's always easy to blame the people in charge, isn't it? But who else do we blame? The berserkers, the outlaws, the separatists? Me? I find it best not to blame anyone.
I heard about your fight with Bravak.
Ah, forget that guy. Every city has someone like him. You just have to ignore them. Let me know if I can do something for you.
There's nowhere near enough Elex out there for that.
Frankly, these should be showing more respect.
They say that, but you know they collect Elex for themselves.
Get out of here.
В смысле, мне сюда нельзя?
Good idea.
Почему? Почему он мне сюда не
That has to
нужен?
happen sooner or later.
Well, the dude took the fort from Bloody Baxter.
You'd better leave right now.
I don't want anything to do with it.
Just get out of here. Just go already.
Do you believe that? Really believe it?
You're not allowed.
Интересно.
So that didn't work.
Тише, тише. Так, ну что, все получается? Все, я тут пробежал, со всеми поболтал. Остался только замок, блин. Да? С этими болтал. С этими болтал. Это что тут такое, блин? Пропаганда, понятно.
Too easy.
Шапка. Уже не нужна мне. Чпок. Клириков вообще молодцы, у них нигде никого нет. Реально народу не хватает. Можно тырить у них все подряд. Все равно никому смотреть за добром. Дай, блин, иди.
I'm watching you.
Че ты врешь-то?
You should think about leaving. Did someone tell you could come in
Ночной
here?
стражник. А, ну понятно. Это типа казарма, да? У них тоже камеры стоят, смотри.
I'm watching you.
Хватит ложись, придурок. Идиот. Ни хрена-то у него тут и нету. Так, ты кто?
Hey, you.
Let me guess. I'm not allowed into the upper quarter?
What? No, everyone's allowed to move about freely here. I just have a question for you. You got here recently, right? I just want to know what things are like outside the dome. What's going on up there? Are the Albs attacking?
There are raids, but there have been no major assaults recently.
I'm sure that's just the calm before the storm. I just hope the dome holds. There's a lot of people depending on this dome of mine, so they pass us by like a river around a rock. Kalan gave us the knowledge, and now look what we've achieved. A safe harbor for all people. The clerics and Ignidons say we've strayed. I say we've found the true path.
Ты создал, ну?
You built the dome?
I designed the plans for it, then we built it together. My name is Eric, by the way. Chief engineer here in the dome. I'm in charge of all the generators and technicians who oversee them.
Why don't the clerics have a dome like this in Ignidon?
The dome requires immense amounts of energy, and the fluctuations in it have to be constantly balanced. The technology is complex. That means there's no way to cover the Hort with a shield like this. Besides, the cliffs around Hort give it a natural protection.
Can this dome survive an Albatak?
Of course. Why do you think we built it? As long as we can maintain a constant energy flow, then they can't get in. Unfortunately, achieving that isn't so easy. Some of the energy regulators are starting to malfunction again.
Ах ты ж, блин, опять. Ремесла, да? Чё у меня там? Чпок. А у меня ремесла 3. Вот тебе и вот. Мне нужен интеллект. Качать химию, блин. И трофеи. А трофеи я уже могу. Эх, ладно. На сегодня, я думаю, хватит. Всем спасибо за просмотр. До скорых встреч.